Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Erik Brown, your Beverly Hills real estate agent, bringing you the best of LA, where as always, I get to share with you cool local businesses here in the Los Angeles area and how you can find them. And I'm with my friend Obele of the Therapeutic Element, and we're just going to dive in and talk about his business today. So, great to have you. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much, Eric.
So why don't you tell us all, the viewing audience, what is the Therapeutic Element?
Okay, well, Therapeutic Element is basically my baby of helping people heal themselves. It started from a very young age, and a lot of seeds were planted along the way to cultivate it and make it into what it is now. I'm basically a steward of at least two disciplines. I'm a neuromuscular therapist and Eastern medicine practitioner.
And what I always love to know someone's origin story. What got you started?
Well, it started at home. Western medicine doctors basically wrote my mom off at a very young age. So for a number of reasons that kind of prompted us to make shifts in our lifestyle. So we started going away from that and into a more mindful way of living. Sure.
Yeah, it's interesting how so much of it in the decision-making process that we work and that turns into our professional life, how that can come from a personal situation. Mine was pretty similar in real estate. What if someone's interested in the services? Tell me a bit about what the process is like. Like, someone comes to you typically with this concern or challenge, and then what happens?
Well, typically, my predominant target audience is athletes, but anyone who's using their body in a meaningful way is going to benefit from the craft, and it's really that simple. When someone comes in, especially if we're looking at bodywork, mind you, I have a number of skill sets to pull from, but if the idea is, say you have something physical that presented for you at one point. I typically do body work, for example, like I write an essay, intro, body, and conclusion. In the intro, I'm doing a full body scan, get a sense of what's going on, the lay of the land, looking for certain things. I don't know how deep you want to go into the minutia of the craft, but we're looking at hyperirritability, hypertonicity, hypotonicity, like when there's too much tension, too little tension, it's hypersensitive in a certain area. And then, once you get and asymmetries as well. So once you get a sense of what's going on in the person's whole system, then you go into the body of the work. So you're using all those tools that you accumulate over the years from the various disciplines.
What about the person that would say, okay, I want to feel better. I'm going to go to an acupuncturist. I'm going to go to a chiropractor. I'm going to go to my doctor compared to your services. What type of conversation would that look like?
Well, I think there's place for everybody. It's a matter of language at the end of the day. So, if you come to me, I'm going to have a certain set of languages that is going to be unique to whoever else you go to, be it a body worker, a massage therapist, a chiropractor, acupuncturist. It just so happens that I'm pulling from a lot of different languages anyway. So it might resonate more soundly if it's basically you're overlaying various maps into the body or into the person's system. So then, it makes more sense if you're like, oh, well, these things are corroborating with each other, and we can go from there.
Well, I love that, and I appreciate you sharing. And to be honest, I could go. This is really my bandwidth. I love talking about this. As a track and field athlete in college, I'm really interested in the concept of all things longevity and physicality. But to be respectful of time and always to wrap up for our viewing audience, I always love to ask, is there, as we pop up all of your contact information on screen, so people, if you have any questions, if you've got thoughts, if you're interested in the service, please feel free to connect here. Is there anything else that you think the viewer should know a bit about this that you think would be most helpful?
I'd have to keep it short, but I think it's always important. We spoke earlier about the Wu Wei, and even bringing that forward can open up a whole nother can of worms for having a conversation. But the Wu Wei is having a way without having a way. It's very simple, but at the same time, there's depths and depths to it. I always liken the Wu Wei to being like water, but and when I say that, people are like, oh, like flow and just go with the flow. But it's not just that simple, because water has, even though it's just hydrogen and oxygen, it has the capacity to mold into various circumstances and situations. And it's going to respond differently without being prompted to do anything. It's just, it doesn't have its own agenda. It moves through those circumstances. So, and it has a set of rules that it follows, but there's a mindfulness of how to navigate that, and there's always a balancing act. So
sure. Well, I'm hopeful that all of this and more is on your website, which again we're going to put here on screen, Therapeutic Element. Please reach out to Obele if you've got questions. It was such a pleasure to chat with you. Thanks for popping in today.
Thank you.
As always, this is Erik Brown, your Beverly Hills Realtor, bringing you the best of LA, where we get to see cool businesses like Obele's and others. Tune in for the next time to check out our next business. Thanks, everybody.